Hey guys, I'm Solomon with ClickX. Today's marketing hack of the day, I really want to talk about avoiding some email marketing mistakes a lot of marketers make, sometimes even accidentally. And I want to help you fix those issues so that you can get better ROI from your marketing campaign, especially when it comes to email. So let's get right to it.
Marketing hack of the day is brought to you by ClickX.
All right, so before we get too deep into email marketing mistakes, I just want to kind of address the fact that email marketing is not what it used to be before. Okay, so back in the day, you can send an email, and when consumers are only getting maybe 50 emails or maybe 25 emails, a couple years ago, it was really easy to get really awesome click-through rates. It's easy to get open and click-through rate, and even get them to buy from a series of emails was a lot easier. But today, guys, email marketing is a science, okay? You might say that it was a science 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but today it is extremely difficult to get through the clutter. I mean, if I just look through my inbox, I have probably 180 emails, in my promotional box that's just sitting there that I may or may not even get to open. And I'm only using split microseconds to decide whether or not I want to open this email. That could be the subject line or the person that is sending it to me. I mean, most of the time it's the subject line that gets me to open. And I'm going to give you some things that you can use to make those emails open more and have higher click-through rate, okay? Chances are, you're not going to get a lot of open rate that you used to just because of the amount of emails. I mean, the average consumer is getting over 100 emails a day. So if I'm getting 100 emails, by the end of the week, I've gotten 500 emails. Literally, I mean, nobody's got time these days to check those emails and check every single one. I mean, I personally used to be really good with my email. I had a pretty good system down until my inbox really started to explode. And I'm like, yeah, no, forget about it. I can't handle it. I use certain tools to keep my inbox really clean. So it is a science, so you're going to need to really work on getting your click-through rates and your open rate to be, 80% if you can, right? 50% sometimes, because it depends on where you are. But you want to get 100% open. That would be amazing. But the size of your list is really going to decide how many people are going to really open. And I want to teach you some things that you can use to get really high open rate. All right, let's get right to it. All right, so I think the first one that I see, and I could tell that people are making this mistake, is because sometimes I'm being targeted when I'm not the right person for it, is not segmenting your list. Okay, I think that's the first and foremost mistake. I don't know how to tell this to you, but your entire list that you have is not really targeted for that offer maybe you want to give to someone, okay? Your entire list cannot be it. In fact, if you segment it 5 times, it's not enough. I can tell you, you need to segment it really, really deep. I'm talking about when they probably signed up to your list, which list did they sign up, which offer did they take, how did they get into your list in the first place, did they come from a webinar? I mean, there's so many ways to segment your list. It could be divided by the state in which which they're at, or from a trade show if you got them from a trade show. There's so many ways to get emails, and you need to keep them really clean. And if you segment it and you only send it to that audience, a special offer, you're much better off, and you're going to get a much higher click-through rate, open rate, than to just send it to your entire list and hope for the best. Okay, it's not like a Merry Christmas email that everybody needs this thing. In fact, most people unsubscribe when they see an email from someone. Maybe they like that company, maybe they want to do business with them, but they just don't like that email that they sent out. That causes the unsubscribe to go up, and you could literally keep a lot more people on your list if you can get much better in segmenting. And you might not have any way to do that today because you've already brought all your list together. It's in one system, it's all together. But maybe you can do it based on the day that they sign up to your list or from the form. Going forward, you're going to have much better luck, or find out how you got these people in the first place and keep it cleaner from the day you got it. But going forward, you have much better chance of success. And this is like the number one thing, because I see this and I get like, oh my gosh, this, I try not to unsubscribe from the company even though they make a mistake, right? I'm like, I still like this company. I still want to do business with them. I'm not going to unsubscribe, but not everybody's going to be feeling the same way. And I don't want you to get screwed and lose those valuable subscribers that you paid a lot of money to get them to your website, to get them to your booth, to produce new content, to generate that subscriber or even a customer. You don't want to lose them. So there you have it. I want you to think about segmenting it, and that is the fundamental mistake a lot of people make. All right, so the next thing is, once you've figured out your segmentation, you're like, all right, I got this thing, you know, I'm going to be more relevant to my audience, right? If you're not going to be relevant, you're going to get deleted, believe it or not. So you're going to be more relevant, and you say, you know what, the next thing I do, I got to step up my email marketing game. What do I need to do next? What's the next mistake that I can avoid? I would say not A/B testing emails, email subject lines, offers. If you can A/B test your offers, you're basically got two things out of one campaign. You understand which one worked better, so you can improve on it in the future, okay? Not a lot of companies do that, and a lot of companies do that, and it's kind of amazing because they might have two of my email addresses, and I get two versions. I'm like, yeah, they're really good. I'm happy for them, and that's the kind of feeling that you want to have for that marketer, not like, yeah, no, this is not going to work. So if you can think of ways to A/B test, and even if you had to send it to a small segment and A/B test it before you send it to a big segment and A/B test it, you're going to get a lot better result. Okay, maybe test it with a small segment and see how they did it, and then take that same results and apply to a bigger list. You're going to be much better off. So think about A/B testing. It's really important. Pay attention to your subject lines and see which one's working, what's resonating with your audience. Your B2C audience may not be the same, you know, as your B2B audience. So you got to think about, hey, the B2C audience or the people in Texas feel this way versus people in California is that way. People are different, right? At the end of the day, everybody's individual. They're unique. So how are you going to take one subject line, feel that everybody's going to open my email, and then you wonder why your email marketing metrics looks horrible that you can't really even want to share to your team, okay? I don't want you to be in that place, so think about how you can segment it, make it better. A/B test the hell out of everything you can A/B test, and that will automatically improve your chances of getting better success over time. Sounds good? Let's move on. All right, so here comes number 3. Number 3 is not having any sort of urgency in your email marketing. Okay, so if you're gonna have an offer, at the end of the day, I feel like every email is some sort of an offer. You know, even if you just wanted them to go and sign up for a webinar, you want them to download an ebook, it's still an offer. To me, everything is an offer. So if you're going to have this offer, you have to create some sort of urgency. Because what works in email marketing is that urgency, okay? Scarcity works, abundance doesn't. So if you can think of creating today only, and you probably see this with Macy's emails or someone, you know, in retail, 3-day sale, right? It's like, oh my gosh, I better get this sweater now or else I'm gonna miss out, okay? So I'm not gonna have the sweater, so I gotta buy it today because it's 30% off. So you wanna create that certain sense of urgency when it comes to email marketing, and you know, some people actually do abuse email marketing, and I hate that, and I might not be that their subscriber just because they just literally like send me the same thing, you know, 5 days in a row. But there are limits to that, like trying that, but I can understand where they're coming from, that they're trying to create that urgency just in case you forgot to take action yesterday, you know, because you got 100 more emails, they don't expect you to go back and take action. They want to send you another reminder, and if you didn't do it the second time, they don't want you to have to go look through your buried email. They'll send you another one, right? They just want to keep sending it to make sure, you know, they got it. They know that you got it. So that's what I mean by creating the certain sense of urgency. You got to have some sort of offer. You got to have to take away the sale, take away that thing the day after or a week from now. That will get you a lot more results. Again, I told you, I open emails based on subject lines, and so does the rest of the world, right? So if you can think about your consumer, whoever that is, it doesn't matter, it's B2B, B2C, it's big company, small company, it's all the same to me. They're P2P. Start thinking people to people. If you can get them to open your email because of the subject line, then you're much better off. You can get them to take action, which I'll talk about next. But get some sense of urgency in your own marketing and definitely get that into your subject line. Create the whole offer where there was some sort of a deadline built into the whole thing so it's easier, so you don't have to think about one email and how am I going to create urgency. Sounds good? It has to be worked out as part of the rest of the campaign. That will get you much better results. That's something to think about. Don't just leave it open-ended. Yeah, just give me a call. I'm always available. That is not going to work for you when it comes to email. They're probably not going to take it unless they have so much pain that the timing of your email just happened to be the time that they needed this thing. Then yes, that you're going to get like a super tiny % of people. But the mass majority, they're not going to take any action. All right, let's move forward. All right, so the next one is really important. And I think it's one of those things that marketers always forget, is ignoring their mobile, all right? It's really, really important. This guy right here is your game changer. This is gonna make or break your email marketing campaign. And a lot of marketers are still looking at it on a desktop. They're just previewing it on a desktop, test it on a desktop. You think everybody uses Outlook, so you test it on an Outlook, and then you move on. You're like, yeah, hit send, I'm off. I'll see you guys tomorrow. That's not going to work. Okay, 40% of emails are opened on a mobile device. That's where they check their email. That's where consumers are today. And if you want to talk about mobile, we can talk about mobile all day. But mobile screens can only fit 4 to 7 words in the subject line, okay? 4 to 7 words. What is your subject line? In 4 to 7 words, you got to create urgency. You got to make sure the design is beautiful. Everything fits just perfect. So if you can do that, then you're going to have much better success. If you ignore mobile, they're not going to even care. They're going to unsubscribe because they're like, they can't see anything. You stuck this big JPEG image right in the middle of it. You tested it on a desktop. You didn't care for mobile. You're not going to get them. They're not going to like it. You don't give them that experience. I always go back to experience. You don't give them that experience, that fuzzy feeling. Oh, wow, I love it. You know, that is what drives, okay, their action. So if you can't give that to them, you have to think mobile. In fact, I would say mobile first. Forget desktop. If it looks good on a mobile, it'll probably look good on a desktop. So if you don't test mobile, you're not even going to know. If you don't design mobile, you should start design mobile first, okay? Especially for your website. Now, let's just stick with emails for now, but think about that. That is going to get you much better results. 40% folks, people, and I can tell you probably going to be 50% in 12 months. 50%, then it's going to be 60% and onward, right? So if you can work on that, you're going to get much better chance. That will be a huge one to avoid. And if you've done it before, forget about it, forget the past. Your subscribers are too nice to you. Make a better impression in the future. Sounds good? Let's move on. All right, so the last one, and I think this gets a little tricky when you have salespeople and marketing people are all trying to sell and try to get this email marketing to be perfect. There's everybody's input, too many opinions, too many cooks in the kitchen. You end up with an email with like 5 call to actions, okay? Yeah, that's right. You got this button and that button. You want them to do all these things. And that creates literally no action from the user. Maybe you got the subject line right. Maybe they opened your inbox. But this is going to get you nowhere, okay? So I want you to think about, you know, all that statistics that you learned about email marketing. For every dollar you put in, you're going to get $38 in return. It's the cheapest, it's the best. We can't email them individual. Let's just send out mass email. Yes, you got them to open, but because you never really thought about what is that one action that you want them to take, it's not going to work, okay? So go back to the drawing board and think of one singular action you want them to take with that email. Singular. When I say singular, you better be like, that's it. If they've seen one call to action, and maybe it's repeated, but there's the same call to action maybe one more time, depending on how long this email is. If you can work on that, I think you'll have much better chance. Don't give them 15 links and then this and that, and tell them also we are here located in such and such street, come visit us. No, forget about it, all right? You should actually look at emails from really good brands, like the best brands out there. You know, you take a look at their emails and see how simple it is and how actually they put a lot of time into getting you to do one thing. If you can get people to take one more action, think about it from a marketing funnel perspective, you're making them move down the funnel, right? If you want them to download an ebook, that's that one action. You want them to register a webinar, that's another action. You want them to do something else, that's another action. So if you can do that, I think you'll be much better off. Always, these are some major mistakes people make, and trust me, I get a lot of emails, and I can go on and on about different mistakes, but I think these are some of the common practices that people don't understand. Maybe they're not from marketing background, maybe they're just trying to do everything from online marketing to email marketing and trade shows and everything, thinking marketing is this one big thing. Well, clearly they missed the mark on some basics. So if that's you, go back and figure out how you can improve your metrics, and looking at your metrics will tell you a lot about whether or not your marketing is working, all right? And if you could do that, then you're much better off. I hope you got some insights from these email marketing mistakes that you need to avoid starting today onward. And thank you again for watching another edition of Marketing Hack of the Day.